Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is myself Ashu Bansal here to present you the current affairs of 23 and 24th August of the 2020. All we know, the current affairs plays a vital role in all competitive examinations, but it is very underappreciated or overconfident among aspirants. We are giving our best to provide complete current affairs content in all topics, which will help our aspirants to stay updated and clear the general awareness section in all competitive exams. It means these current affairs will help you in the banking, SSC, railways, insurance, UPSC, and any state exams or any national level exams. We are here you to provide the important, recent and the latest current affairs of the 23 and 24th August 2020. These current affairs are prepared from very well sourced like The Hindu, The Economic Times, PIB, Times of India, Indian Express and even the Business Standard newspaper. We also cover all government official websites. So let's start the current affairs of 23 and 24 August. But before that, you can subscribe our current affairs. That means PDF current affairs. You can receive PDF daily, PDF weekly and PDF monthly also. And you will receive also question and answer analysis by the PDF format and by the weekly and the monthly. You can get extra 10% discount by using the code ASH10, that is the ASH10. This will give you 10% discount. By subscribing this, an email is provided to you so that you can get all current affairs on the daily basis, weekly basis and the monthly basis. Now you will get the video in English as well as in Hindi on YouTube channel and our website. You can visit our website, that is affairscloud.com/current affairs. You will get PDF, quizzes, articles and weekly test. Now let's start 23 and 24 August current affairs 2020. That is the first question. Travel Agents Association of India and Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry Ladies Organization inked a formal MOU with which Ministry of Women Empowerment? It means there are two organizations. One is Travel Agent Organization. Second is the FICCI, that is the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. That is a lady group of the FICCI. Signed a pact with which ministry for the women empowerment? Tell me what will be the answer. And I am giving you the 5 seconds and give me answer in 5 seconds. And the answer is, which is, that is Ministry of Tourism, because this is the Travel Agent Association of India. That's why answer should be Ministry of Tourism. It means by enhancing, by providing skills to women, they can enhance their career in the tourism sector. You can see here that FICCI and the travel agents signed a pact to empower women. The pact is to organize training and impart digital awareness and develop skill among women. I already told you it is for enhancing the skills of women so that they can set up or they can enhance their career in the tourism sector. FLO, that is the FICCI's lady organization, and the TIE, that is the tourism related association, that is the Travel Agent Association of India, will be the facilitator. It means both will become the mediator to join all the relevant stakeholders. It means they will facilitate all the relevant stakeholders so that all the women can join these stakeholders to empower their skills. This will encourage travel to at least 50 destinations, between 15 destinations in our country under the initiative of Dekho Apna Desh. It means Dekho Apna Desh, to see our country, initiative of tourism sector. One iconic monument or the tourist landmark in each state where women will be tour guides. That is good initiative. So to encourage the employment of the women and to empower the women in every sector, the tourism sector also recruiting the tour guides in the form of the women. Tourism workshops are for training women on Atithi Devo Bhava. It means welcome tourist motto, so that women can be empowered and enhance their income. What was recent in news related to that about FICCI? This is the recent news about FICCI. Economic Outlook Survey. It is by the FICCI. They released in the month of June, it means in the due to the corona pandemic, our growth rate declined by the 5%. You can see first they predicted uh, that it was a 5.5% as compared in the January, that is 5.5%, but now they are saying that maximum is the 1.5%. So it is the decline of almost 4% in the minimum and maximum ratio. You can see there is a 6.4% that can be the minimum and 1.5 can be the maximum in the financial year of the 2020-21. So you can ask by the examiner that what will be the growth rate of India according to the FICCI's Economic Outlook Survey. It is very important for the banking exam, and the minimum is 1.5%, 6.4%, and maximum is 1.5%. What is FICCI's ladies organization? President is the Janabi Pokan. You have to remember the name of the president. You only remember the first initiate, that is the Janabi. And headquarter is New Delhi. You can also remember the Pokan. You can also pronounce it as the Jahanabi. Next question is, which commission releases the report on population projections titled Population Projection of India and States 2011 to 36? It means by seeing the question, you can imagine that what will be the population scenario of India by 2036 as comparative to 2011. So, who released that report? Who releases this report? That is the Census Commission of India, National Commission on Population, Ministry of Home, both A and B. Give me answer within 5 seconds. I will tell you after 5 seconds which is the correct answer. And this report is published by, or this report is released by, National Commission on Population. Maximum students, I think, mark the answer Census Commission of India, but it is wrong. That is the National Commission on Population. They projected that by the 2036, that is 2036, feminine population will increase. We already in the first question told you that feminine population can increase because woman empowerment is leading the country. That's why in 2006 it can be more. So by 2036, Indian total population can be increased up to 152 crore. According to 2011 census, that is 121 crore. Now, according to 2020 reports, it is almost 136 crore. Almost 136 crore. But by 2036, it can be 152 crore. You have to remember who released that report. The report projected that India's sex ratio, that is the gender ratio out of 1000, of the total population is expected to more feminine in 2036. Now, what is the female ratio? You can tell me. What is the sex ratio of India according to the census of 2011? I will tell you after that. Youth population is expected to increase. Youth population, first it will increase, that is 23.3% to 23.3 crores. But after that, it will decrease by to 22.7 crore. You don't remember two such figures, but you have to remember youth population will increase till 2021, and after that it will decrease. The report estimate that sex ratio will increase because of women empowerment. It will increase, or because of education it will increase definitely, and it is 943 in 2011 to 957 in 2036. It means out of 1000, 957 will be the sex ratio. Infant mortality rate, that is how much newborn babies or how much children are dying under the age of 1 after delivery, is reported is 46 in 2010. It will also decrease by 30 because the medical facilities, because of the technology, the death rate is reducing. That's why it reduced to 30. It is good sign for India. The report projects India's population to increase by 25.7%. It means, I already told you that 151.28 crore. It means almost 152 crore. So you have to remember just the overview of this reports, because no one asking you what will the sex ratio in 2036, because it is not a definite. It is just a assumption by this organization that it will lead to this. So don't remember all these figures. Just imagine that will happen in 2036. Recent related news was that UN Global Multidimension Poverty Index, US Global Multidimension Poverty Index, recently last year one question was asked in the banking exam, that is I think IBPS PO, that who released multidimensional poverty index. So you have to remember that is the United Nations. India record largest reduction in number of people living in poverty. You can ask which country reduced maximum number of people living in the poverty. So India, and who released that report? That is the United Nations. Who is the currently Minister of Health and Family Welfare? The Union Minister is Harshvardhan and Minister of State is Ashwini Kumar Chaubey. Now moving to next question. Next question is Ministry of External Affairs. You know all that is External Affairs Minister is Subramaniam Jaishankar, bureaucrat turned politician. In partnership with which country foreign minister? It means Indian Foreign Ministry and another country's foreign ministry tie up and pacted, organized the 2-day long 6th roundtable of ASEAN India network of think tank. Now, 2 or 3 most important point in this news is who is currently External Affairs Minister of India, who is currently ASEAN head, where is the headquarter of the ASEAN head, and which are the countries are the member of the ASEAN. These 3 or 4 points are important. First, you have to tell me India and which country foreign ministry organized this 6th roundtable ASEAN India network think tank. And the answer is, you have to give me answer within 5 seconds. All you remember that within 5 seconds you can give me answer, and the answer is Thailand Foreign Ministry. India's Foreign Ministry and the Thailand Foreign Ministry both correlatively organized this 6th roundtable conference ASEAN. You can see here that is Subramaniam Jaishankar. This is because they want to discuss that how to strengthen the partnership with ASEAN and the India in the post-COVID era. When the COVID-19 will over, after that India and ASEAN tie-ups, how they will go hand by hand. So to discuss that, this roundtable conference organized. ASEAN India strengthening partnership in post-COVID era. That is the theme. I already told you what will be the motto. This is also the motto: changing landscape and the global order. And ASEAN India relation in the post-COVID-19 era. What will be the relation between ASEAN countries and the India after the COVID-19? About the ASEAN India Roundtable, it was established in 2009, not very important when it was established. You have to remember what is the aim to establish this organization, because it consists of many persons, like many thinkers, policymakers, scholars, media, business representatives, and so on, because they are very well known to the global scenario. That's why we collaborate them, and by on the roundtable conference we can share the ideas. So currently theme is after COVID-19, how will India partnership with the ASEAN countries? Now, most important takeaway of this question is the ASEAN countries membership. Now, India is not a member of ASEAN group. You have to remember, India is not a member of the ASEAN group. You have to remember which countries are the member of ASEAN. ASEAN means Association of Southeast Asian Nation. That is the Association of Southeast Asian Nation. This is very important because Southeast, that is the India's southeast. This is India and this is the southeast part of India. And you can see here is Myanmar touching with the India. And this is the Thailand, yellow color. This is the Laos. This is Vietnam. This is Cambodia. Clear? Next is, this is Malaysia below the Thailand, and this blue part is Indonesia. This is Brunei. This is Philippines. These all countries are members of the ASEAN group. You can see here all 10 countries are members of ASEAN. Now, most important in the blue, that is one observer country is also there, that is the Papua New Guinea. This question can be asked, that is one observer, because out of 10 you have to remember Sri Lanka, India, Bhutan, Pakistan. These are not member. China, these are not member of ASEAN. These are not member of ASEAN. And one question asked very long time ago, that which boundary shared country of India is also a member of ASEAN? Now, answer is, that is Myanmar. Myanmar shares boundary with India, but it also member of ASEAN. So it is very important question. 2020 chairmanship lies with the Vietnam. Chairman is Nguyen Yuan Phuc. Secretary is the Indonesia. It means the headquarters is in Indonesia or Jakarta. You have to remember 2 or 3 things. That 2020 chairmanship lies with the Vietnam. It means who will preside the 2020 chairmanship? That is the Vietnam. Where is the headquarters? That is Jakarta, Indonesia. And total member countries are 10 and one observer country. It means this country can't vote. This can only observe the situation or only can suggest some ideas. That is the Papua New Guinea. Recent news related to the ASEAN, that is the third India Association of Southeast Asian and Young Dialogue was held in June. So not such important, but one thing is important, that the meet was regard the youth as vehicles of change. It means the theme of that meeting is the future generation. The current youth is the future of India or the future of the world. That is the vehicles of change. Next question. Which organization has recently started COVID-19 vaccine global access facility? Now this is important because COVID-19 vaccine is not anywhere there, but many countries group also want to pre-order that COVID-19 vaccine, so that when the COVID-19 situation will over or when the vaccine will be generated, we can distribute to the world. Or it is an initiative of which group? That is the United Nations, World Bank, WHO or IMF. Which group initiated this type of facility to distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine? That is United Nations, World Bank, WHO or IMF. And the answer is very simple. You know, answer is WHO. World Health Organization started this facility, that vaccine global access facility. It means they are asking to developed countries to join hands, and it means they are asking wealthier countries to join hands and distribute the vaccine to the lower income countries. This is very good initiative, and you can see in the picture that COVAX facility for distribution of COVID-19 vaccine. So no rush up will be there. You can only distribute by the wealthier countries so that everyone will get vaccine. In order to provide repaid, fair and equitable access of COVID-19 vaccine worldwide, the World Health Organization has invited countries to join its COVID-19 vaccine global access facility. So its aim is that is the vaccine nationalism. It means wealthier nations can join hands and distribute the vaccine in the lower income countries and also itself. The aim or the objective is to deliver 2 billion doses. And this is, I think, negative point, because total world population is so much, but just aim is 2 billion doses. And it is by the end of 2021. It means till the end of 2021, only 2 billion people receive this vaccine. It is the target. And the population is almost 7.8 billion. And it is just the 25% only. This is a very negative point. Okay, let's move to the related news. Regarding the World Health Organization, that has formulated an independent panel for pandemic preparedness and response to evaluate the world response to the COVID-19 pandemic. So you have to just remember the news that World Health Organization has formulated a panel for the COVID-19 pandemic. So how the world is responding to that disease, and how the world is how much world is prepared for this COVID-19 disease. The panel is chaired by the Prime Minister of New Zealand, that is the Helen Elizabeth Clark, and the former President of the Liberia, that is the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. You have to remember only the Prime Minister of New Zealand, that is the Elizabeth Clark. World Health Organization, that is important, headquarters is in Geneva. I already told you which organization is starting with W and ending with O, and it is a 3-letter word. Then 90% headquarter, it is the hit and trial, not 100%. It is hit and trial, and headquarter can be in Geneva. Headquarter can be in Geneva, Switzerland. Who is currently Director General? That is the Ted Ross. You have to remember this, important. Now next news is related to the banking sector. Karnataka Vilas Gramin Bank. Karnataka Vilas Gramin Bank and which insurance company have signed a pact to sell general insurance product through the branches of KVGY. You have to remember one thing. When an insurance company and the bank is tied up, it means they are selling. It means banks are selling insurance products. So there is also a deal between the Karnataka Vilas Gramin Bank and the insurance company. so that the insurance company can sell their products on the branches of the Karnataka Vilas Gramin Bank. So, what is the name of that insurance company? SBI General Insurance, LIC, GIC, or the Kotak Mahindra Insurance. That is the life insurance company or the general insurance company. So, tell me the answer within 5 seconds. I am here. Tell me the answer. And the answer is SBI General Insurance. And the answer is SBI General Insurance. You can see here SBI General Insurance tied pact with the Karnataka Vilas Gramin Bank. The customers of Karnataka Vilas Gramin Bank will able to avail banquet of products. It means that is a combination of products that can cover the health insurance, home insurance, motor insurance, property insurance through the range of solution that the company offer. It means all the products that SBI life insurance or SBI insurance company is giving, that all products can be now given to the customers of the Karnataka Vilas Gramin Bank. Now, related news related to that health insurance sector, that ICICI Lombard, it is also insurance partnership term. It partnered with the PhonePe to launch hospital daily cash benefit. It means for the daily going to the hospital, you need some cash, so you can pay through the PhonePe. ICICI Lombard tied up with the PhonePe. And another is the Small Industry Development Bank of India informed that it will launch India SME Service Platform. This is again very important because India SME Service Platform, it is a digital platform to educate stakeholders. It means it will educate all the small and medium enterprises so that they can tackle up the situation in the COVID-19 situation. So they can tackle the coronavirus or the economic crisis so that they can rise in the situation of the COVID-19. What will be the Karnataka Vilas Bank headquarter? That is the Dharwad, Karnataka. No need to remember. Chairman is P. Gopi Krishna. You have to remember only when you are giving the Karnataka state exam. Otherwise, no need to remember. SBI General Insurance Limited, that is headquarters in Mumbai. Maximum student marks Delhi. This is wrong. You have to remember the headquarters of Mumbai or Maharashtra. Managing Director or Chief Executive Officer, no need to remember. If you are giving the exam of the SBI, then you have to remember that is the Prakash Chandra Kanpal. Next question. Which bank has entered into a strategic partnership with Accenture for digital transformation? It means that bank is not so much digital, so they want to use the new technology, they want to use artificial intelligence, so they tie up with the Accenture to transform their bank on the digital platform. So which is the bank? That is the SBI, HDFC, ICICI and RBL. I am giving you very simple option because you know which banks are digitalized, which bank are not so much digitalized, and only one option is left, that is the RBL Bank. RBL Bank is that bank which is not so much digitalized. That's why they tied with the Accenture. You can see here they tied up with the for the digital journey. The alliance will enable RBL Bank to offer next generation banking services like to boost up the resilience and the scalability to its system. It means they will provide the basic infrastructure of the next generation equipments, or you can say they can provide the best artificial intelligence services to the people. Accenture will provide managed service and enable RBL Bank to modernize and integrate its large and diverse application environment. It means they will provide the very systematic approach by which customers can use every service at home by providing the facility of the online. About RBL Bank, that headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. No need to remember MD or CEO of the RBL Bank. About Accenture, you only need to know about headquarters. That is the Dublin, Ireland. Next news, which bank has partnered with India's first real-time group negotiation e-platform, Adda Corner? That is important. You have to remember the Adda Corner for boosting the real estate market. Now, two most important things in the question is the Adda Corner platform. That is a real estate group, that is a negotiator group. This is the India first real-time group negotiator. It means you can attach to the Adda Corner, the sellers and the buyers can attach at the Adda Corner and they can sell and purchase the land from that Adda Corner initiative. So which bank has partnered with this Adda Corner real-time group negotiator? Now tell me, that is the SBI. Again the answer is SBI. You can see here Adda Corner unity is strength with the SBI, and this carnival is known as the online home carnival. It means you can purchase the house or you can purchase any property online. SBI tied up with the India's first real-time group negotiation e-platform, that is the Adda Corner, to launch online home carnival. What will this carnival do? This carnival will invite potential home buyers who want to buy home to come together as a group and directly negotiate with the in parallel real estate sellers on the. It means this is a platform where sellers and buyers can meet online and they can sell property or buy property at same time. That's why it is known as the real time. The carnival will enable buyers to unlock group pricing and negotiate the best deal on the property while also allowing developer to close sale in bulk. So it will also help to buyers to unlock very reasonable price for their house to negotiate with the seller, and the sellers can also close the deal to sell many properties at one time. It means they can sell bulk. What about SBI? That is important. Chairman is Rajneesh Kumar, asked in very exams, and headquarters in Mumbai. Many students marked SBI headquarters in Delhi. I already told you that headquarters is in Mumbai, and in every video I told you 3 or 4 times. Recent related news related to this, that is the Global Real Estate Transparency Index, because this news is related to real estate, and Global Real Estate Transparency Index, India's rank is 34. You have to remember, India's rank is 34. Now, one news is related to the SBI, that Maharashtra government and SBI has tied up to set up a fund, stress fund, to revive slum rehabilitation authority. It means they will provide the slum areas some housing projects, they will provide some houses, water sanitation problem. So by the SBI and the Maharashtra government, they will provide that facility. So it comes under the Mumbai metropolitan region. Next question. Which financial service company launched its new service called Swift Insta Personal Loans on WhatsApp? Now, you know, everyone is coming to the WhatsApp, like ICICI also comes to the WhatsApp, and other like Maruti also comes to the WhatsApp, and many companies also comes to the WhatsApp due to the virtual integration. So physical integration already lost in the COVID-19, but for virtual interaction, you can use the WhatsApp. So that's why they use the platform, that is the Swift Insta Personal Loan on WhatsApp. So which is the financial service? That is the LIC Housing Finance Limited, Muthoot Finance, Bajaj Finance Limited, or Tata Capital Limited. You have to tell me answer, and the answer is Tata Capital Limited. They started this Swift Insta Personal Loans. The existing customers can take loan on the WhatsApp. The existing customer can easily apply loans and receive sanction for the personal loan on WhatsApp. But this facility is only for the personal loan, not for the other like car loans, home loans. This is only for the personal loan. In future, it can be added under this project. Who is the head office? Who is the head of the Tata Capital? That is the Rajiv Sabharwal, and the head office is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Next news, most important news, but for this detailed news, you have to visit our website, because there is so much to tell you about that. But I am tell you something, that this is the first time in history that National Sports Awards, under National Sports Awards, 5 persons awarded as Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratan. This is the first time that 5 persons awarded as the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratan. One is the Rohit Sharma. This is very important. This will be asked in the exam. 101% this 5 Khel Ratna, Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna will be asked in exam. Rohit Sharma from cricket. That is the Mariappan from the para-athlete. Manika Batra from table tennis. And Vinesh Fogart from wrestling. And Rani Rampal from hockey. You can remember by this, that is the R square, M square, V. R square stands for the Rohit and Rani, M square stands for the Manika and the Mariappan, and V stands for the Vinesh Fogart. So you can remember by this, or you can invent your mnemonic. So Rohit Sharma from cricket, Mariappan from para-athlete, Manika from table tennis, Vinesh from wrestling, and Rani from hockey. Now you can see here, the awards were recommended by the selection committee headed by Justice Mukund Kam Sharma. Headed by Mukund Kam Sharma. That is very important. It can be asked in as a difficult question. Total 73 awards were given under the 7 categories. I mentioned the 7 categories, but There are so much award in each category, so I not included the each category, but I already told you that 5 Khel Ratna award, Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna award given, and 27 Arjun award had given. So you have to remember this 5 Khel Ratna and some important Arjun award and the category of the this national awards. What is the related to the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sport is currently the Minister of State is Kiran Rijiju. That is the independent charge, no cabinet minister. He is currently the Minister of State. Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratan Award. These are the 7 categories. Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratan Award. It is given for the most outstanding performance in the field of sports by sport person over a period of 4 years. Most outstanding performance, it means that is the extraordinary performance, and it is given to the in cricket, that is the Rohit Sharma, and Rani in the hockey, and Mariappan in the para-athlete, Manika Batra in the table tennis, and Vinesh Fogart in the wrestling. Now next is Arjun Award. It also recognized, but it is not the outstanding performance, it is for the consistent outstanding performance for 4 years. There is a little bit difference between the Arjun Award and the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Award. Otherwise, it is the same for the performance related to the 4 years. And you know the famous player in the Arjun Award, that is like in athletics, Duti Chand, the cricketer Ishant Sharma, women cricketer Dipti Sharma, football, that is the Sandesh Jingan, golf Aditi Ashok. That are very important players. There are total 27 given in the Arjun Award. Next is the Dronacharya Award. You already know Dronacharya means it is a coach. This award given to the coaches to producing medal winners at the international sport events. Like one example I am giving to, that is the hockey, Ramesh Pathania. That is the athletics, Purushottam Rai, tennis, Naresh Kumar. These are the award given to the Dronacharya. Dhyanchand Award, Dhyanchand already you know, it is a lifetime contribution to the sports event. Dhyanchand, that is the lifetime achievement award. Next is Rashtriya Khel Protsahan Puraskar. It is given to corporate entities and individuals who have played a visible role in the area of sport and promotion and development. It means it can be given to the private sector also, it can be given to the public sector also, who worked for the promotion or for the development of the sports. And this award given to 4 entities. Next, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad Trophy. It is given to overall top performing university in the interstate university tournament. And this award given to the Punjab University Chandigarh. This is only one university under this category, that is the Punjab University Chandigarh. Next is Tenzing Norgay. You know that mountaineer Tenzing Norgay National Adventure Award. So it means it is for recognizing the spirit of adventure among the people of country. This award given to the 8 persons. Now next news is who is appointed as Managing Director of SBI. That is again important. Who is currently appointed as the Managing Director of SBI, that is PK Gupta, Ashwini Bhatia, Rajneesh Kumar, or the Ashok Lavasa. You have to remember just the name of the Managing Director, nothing in the news. And the answer is Ashwini Bhatia. He appointed as the Managing Director of SBI. He joined as the PO, but he now is the MD. There are 4 MDs of the SBI. One is the Ashwini Bhatia and 3 others are Arijit Basu, Dinesh Khaira and CS Sethi. You have to remember just Ashwini Bhatia. Headquarter you know Mumbai and chairman is Rajneesh Kumar, but there is important in the green, that are the taglines. There is not one tagline of the SBI. There are so many taglines, and one of them are the banker of every Indian, with you all the way, a bank of a common man, pure banking, nothing else, the nation bank on us. So these are the very important taglines, because we remember only 1 or 2, but I am here to represent you 5 taglines. Now next question is, who is appointed as the new election commissioner after the resignation of Ashok Lavasa? Now election commission is a 3-member body. One is the chief election commissioner and other 2 are the election commissioners. So chief election commissioner is the Sunil Arora, and other election commissioner 2, but Ashok Lavasa resigned, that's why one position was vacant. Now it was filled with Sushil Chandra, Girish Chandra Murmu, Mukul Rohatgi or the Rajiv Kumar. You have to tell me answer within 5 seconds. What is the answer? This is very important news, and it will be 101% asked in the banking exam. 101% it will be asked. That is the Sushil Chandra, Girish Chandra Murmu, Mukul Rohatgi or the Rajiv Kumar. And the answer is former Finance Secretary Rajiv Kumar appointed as the new election commissioner. One is the Sushil Chandra. These are the two election commissioners. And Chief Election Commissioner, you already know, that is the Sunil Arora. Girish Chandra Murmu appointed as the CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Mukul Rohatgi is the Attorney General of India. All positions are very important. You can see here, former Finance Secretary Rajiv Kumar appointed as Election Commissioner. Now, learn from picture, that is two companies tie up. Which two companies are tie up? That is merged. That is Bharti AXA Life Insurance or the Suraksha Ka Naya Nazariya, or the ICICI Lombard General Insurance. ICICI Lombard and the Bharti AXA Insurance, two insurance companies merged. Now, next question. Who launched the mobile app Harit Path? Harit Path or Harit Path for monitoring plantation and transplantation of trees along the highways. This is a very good initiative by the Ministry of Road and Highways. That Harit Path or Harit Path is that mobile app that can monitor the plantation and transplantation. It means it will or it can increase our area related to the forest. Very much important. And who launched that app? That is the Shri Narendra Modi, Shri Nitin Gadkari, Shri Amit Shah, Shri Piyush Goyal ji. So I already told you this is very good initiative of the which ministry? That is the Ministry of Highways and Road. And who is the Minister of Highways and Road? That is Nitin Gadkari ji. So he launched that app to monitor the plantation. You can see here, this app is developed by the NAHAI. It is a public sector undertaking. It means it is a government company under the Ministry of Road and Transport. This app will monitor the location, growth, species, details, and maintenance activities, targets, and achievement of each of its field unit for all the plants under the plantation project. It means they can assess all the plantation project through this app, and they can monitor so that they can achieve the better targets under the forest area or under the plantation or the Green India initiative. Now, recent related news related to the National Highway Authority of India, that is under Ministry of Road and Transport, becomes the first organization in the construction sector to become fully digitalized. That is important. Which organization is the first organization in the construction to become fully digitalized? And the answer is, that is National Highway Authority of India. So it is the fully digitalized organization now, and is the first organization in the construction sector. And National Highway Authority also achieved the highest ever construction in the roads, that accomplished almost 4,000 kilometers. It means they construct 4,000 kilometers of road in the National Highway project under the financial year of 2019-20. You were thinking, I think, that is how much small it is, the 4,000 kilometers. No, it is just in the national highways. 4,000 kilometers under only national highways, not the state highways or the other things. It is only just the national highways. Ministry of Road, that is Union Minister, is Nitin Gadkari, and the Minister of State is Vijay Kumar Singh. What about the National Highway and the Infrastructure Development Corporation? You don't need to remember the managing director, you just remember the headquarters. Now, 2 days from the picture and learn from picture, that International Day for commemorating the victims of act of violence based on religion and belief, like Hindu-Muslim violence in India, or the Christianity violence in the Northern Ireland and the Southern Ireland, that is the Catholics and the Protestant. So much people died during that violence. So to commemorating them, we are celebrating 22nd August 2020 as an International Day for the victims of act of violence based on the religion or belief. Next, Earth Overshoot Day. That is very interesting day. 22nd August 2020 celebrated every year. It means, just give me 1 minute and I am explaining you from the diagram, that if you have like 10 rupees for full month, you have 10 rupees for full month. I am giving you 10 rupees to spend full for full month, but you spend it only in 15 days. It means you have 15 days left. So you are saying me that give me 10 rupees more from next month. It means you are lending 10 rupees from the next month money. I am giving you 10 rupees more. It means you are utilizing the resources of your next month. So that is the overshoot day. We are allocated some resources on the 1st Jan every year, but we completed, we utilize these resources at the end of 22nd August. It means next 4 months we utilize the next year products. That is not a sustainable development. By the end of the 20 or 30 years after that, you will see we are overutilizing the resources so much that no resources left for the next year. So it is the time so that we can use sustainable development goals. And Earth Overshoot Day celebrated on the 22nd August. I am not saying that celebrating it is just a drawback. That is the Earth Overshoot Day. Thank you for watching this video. Affairs Cloud always lead to the current affair. I think all the current affairs PDF boost your confidence under the general aware section, and I am giving guarantee you that all the current affairs are perfectly planned and utilized so that every question is important and covered for your exam. I hope all the news are very important and you will cover this news. Just see the video and visit our website to revise the current affairs. I hope you will get this. Thank you very much for watching this.